This time of year, I am always excited because Starbucks brings out their beautiful holiday cups, and it's always really exciting and a treat to not only have your holiday drinks come back on the menu, but it's really also exciting to see the designs, and I am just loving this year's designs and color scheme and the patterns. These are so beautiful to just throw away, and oftentimes that's where it lands, in the trash can. I try to recycle as much as I can and reuse, and obviously this being paper, this can only be reused so many times before it starts to kind of wither away. Of course, since the holiday season has launched at Starbucks, I have been drinking lots of holiday drinks and hoarding the cups, trying to figure out, okay, what can I do with them? So I decided I was going to make paper for a potential Christmas journal using the Starbucks cups, as well as other materials like Trader Joe's Candy Cane JoJo's, which are amazing. Gives Oreos a run for their money. Bath & Body Works bags, Starbucks bags, Starbucks beverage holder, as well as the paper sleeves that go around the cups. I didn't want to throw them away, so I'm going to utilize all of this and create handmade paper using everything that you see here. Also going to add is this crinkle paper from the Target dollar spot. I got this for $1, so I got 2 packs that I'm just going to go ahead and add into the mixture as well. And this is really nice because it's already been shredded for you, so you don't have to do anything more. It's really fun to see handmade paper and see little flecks and bits and pieces of paper that used to be in this form or this form. You'll see maybe splashes of color, maybe we won't. It's really going to be a fun experiment to see how this paper is going to end up looking. So let's go ahead and get started with the materials that you'll need. So the first thing that you're going to need is some sort of a container. This is just an 18-quart container by Hefty, and you can use whatever you want that you have on hand. And essentially what you're going to use this for is you're going to pour your water in here, and then you're going to shred your bits and pieces of paper. The one thing about the Starbucks cups that I do notice is that there's this very slick layer on the inside of the cups, and I'm assuming that is for the insulation of the cup since it is a hot beverage. I'm hoping that that does peel apart from the base layer that I want to use, because I don't want to put anything that's kind of like a plasticky material into my pulp, because that will not blend in the blender. It won't break down. So I'm hoping that does peel easily and separate easily from the outer layer of the cup. So we'll kind of see what happens overnight, but let's go ahead and get started. You just want this to be in small enough pieces so that when you are ready to make the pulp, it's easier to kind of break down versus having these big pieces of paper. In one container, I have the torn Starbucks cups pieces, and as you can see, that plastic laminated coating on the inside. In a second container, I have everything else: crinkle paper, Trader Joe's JoJo box, Starbucks and Bath & Body Works holiday paper bags, cup sleeves, and beverage holder. You are going to fill these containers up with water. Make sure everything is fully submerged in the water and let this sit overnight to soften the paper. This has been sitting overnight, and I began to remove the plastic coating from the base layer of the Starbucks cups. The transparent edges here is the plastic coating that needs to be removed, and it actually removed really easily. So I removed it in these pieces all in the container, and you can see it's almost like the transparent tape consistency that definitely would not have broken down at all in the blender. I removed the coating from all the pieces, which was a little time intensive since I had to go through each shredded piece. So to avoid this, I recommend cutting the cup in half and soaking it overnight to make it easier to remove the coating in one full swoop, and then shredding the paper into bits. It's really up to you which route you choose. They're both going to achieve the same effect. It's just one will take you longer versus the other. Next, you will need a blender. You can find really inexpensive blenders on Amazon. I found this Black & Decker for under $30. You want to have a blender that's completely dedicated to your paper making needs, so keep your crafting blender separate from the one that you use for your kitchen. So you're going to start and fill the blender with the softened pieces of your Starbucks cups, and then you will use the water from the container that you used overnight to soften your paper and put that into the blender. And basically you're just going to blend until you have a really good pulp for about up to a minute. Your pulp should have an even consistency and look something like oatmeal, so if you need to add more water, you can do so, and then just continue to blend until your desired consistency is achieved. The color is really throwing me off here. It came out like a softened plum color, and the pulp is really nice and soft. You want to transfer the pulp from your blender into your container, and you can just reuse the same container that you used to soften your paper overnight. And you want to strain it, but you don't want to strain out all of the water. You want to leave some moisture in your pulp so it doesn't dry out. So after you do that, you're going to set that container aside, and now we're going to move on to container number 2. We're going to repeat the same process as the first container and blend, blend, blend. This one came out a lot smoother and kind of like a mauve brown color, which is super interesting. So I love how you can see the memories of the paper that was used in the actual mixture. So that's really cool. And this pulp, I tell you, is so soft. I think I spent 5 minutes just feeling the pulp. It was so therapeutic. Now in the 18-quart hefty container, you're going to pour enough water twice as deep as the thickness of your mold and decal. And if you're not familiar with a mold and decal, it's basically a tool used in paper making to collect and create a sheet of pulp, aka your new paper. So the mold is usually covered with a screen to catch the pulp, and the decal is the frame that sits on top of the mold to contain the pulp and create the edges of the paper. You're going to begin by adding in handfuls of your pulp, and you want to spread this evenly throughout the water. So you want to be sure that there is enough pulp in the water, and essentially the mixture should be roughly about 90% liquid. Always stir in the pulp with your hand just before dipping the mold and decal into the water. You want to insert your mold and decal into the water with your decal side of the frame facing up. So you're going to lower it into the water vertically and then immediately bring the mold and decal to a horizontal position below the pulp. The pulp will cover the screen as it is lifted straight up out of the water. And this is a forgiving craft, so if you do mess up, you can just shimmy it in the water and start again, and nothing has been harmed in the process. So next, you're going to bring your mold and decal to your cotton cloth or microfiber towel and flip the mold onto the microfiber sheet or whatever you're using. Press the screen with a sponge to remove the excess water and to separate the paper from the mold. Then you're going to gently lift the mold up, leaving the paper behind. And you can also place another microfiber sheet on top of the paper to help remove any additional water left behind and to help flatten the paper. So basically, you're just going to continue this process for the remaining pulp that you do have. Any pulp that you don't use, you can always store in the refrigerator and use it within the next couple days so it doesn't go bad. But this is just a really fun and easy process. And again, it's a very forgiving craft. So if you do mess up, not a problem. You can just go back to your container, redo it with the mold and decal, and do it all over again. You can then stack the papers carefully on top of each other and then transfer onto a drying rack and hang using clothespins. This drying rack I found on Amazon. I love it, and it folds easily for storage, so it's not this bulky thing that you have to store somewhere. It does fold down, which is really cool. I will link it in the description if you are interested, along with the clothespins as well. Once this has had a chance to dry overnight, I remove each sheet from the drying rack, and now comes the best part where you get to peel the paper off of the sheets. And basically what you do is you start slowly on one corner to get it going, and then it peels off really easily after that. I then use a book press, or you can use heavy books or whatever you have to apply pressure to flatten the sheets, and let that rest in the book press for about 24 hours. And then the very next day, you can remove it from the book press, and now your papers are ready. So you can actually trim the raw edges for a cleaner finish, but I love the organic edges, so I'm going to leave it as is. So this is what the final product looks like. So I just removed the pages from the book press. It was in the book press for about 24 hours. And I have to say that the outcome of this project was really opposite to what I was expecting. Looking at the Starbucks cups and the other items that I also had, I actually was expecting a little bit brighter paper to be produced, but what came out was very muted, and I'm still kind of processing it. But what's really cool is that there were some spots so you can still see some of the cup. So it's kind of nice because as you're putting this in your journal or you're writing on it or decorating with it, you can have little pieces of your holiday cup in your paper. So I just found that to be very fun. And again, very surprising with how muted. This turned out to be kind of like a muted lavender color, lavender gray color, if I'm being specific. I don't know if the lighting is doing this any justice, but so this is strictly the Starbucks cups. Now, moving on to this was everything else outside of the Starbucks cup. So it was kind of a mixture of different things. It was the Starbucks cup holder, the Starbucks cup sleeves, just a bunch of other things, and it produced just kind of that cardboard color. And again, you can see little specks here and there of some of the things. So you can see little specks all over, which I really, really like. Now, if you're going to use this as paper, one side, as you can see, is kind of more textured and bumpy. And then the other side, that's actually the side that's lying on the towel or piece of cotton or whatever you're using, that is going to be a little bit smoother. So if you're looking to use this for writing purposes, I would probably use the side that's laying on the actual piece that you're drawing on, because it will be a little bit less textured than the front of it. But again, the outcome is just so different from what I expected. Now this one here is a mixture of these two together. I didn't take exact measurements. I just used whatever pulp was in this bin, and then I just took a handful of this pulp and put it into that bin, and this is what I got. So as you can see, this is a very good reflection of both of these parents. So this is a child that got produced, and again, you can tell because it's not as dark as this one, not as light as this one, it's just kind of somewhere in the middle. But this is what it looks like. Again, some of the Starbucks cup, and just some other pieces. But that is the whole project. So that is it for today's video. It was such a cool experiment. Again, completely blew me away with the results, and I'm looking forward to doing more paper and creating more paper with different items. I have some items that I have collected that were ready for the recycle bin, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to try to convert that into paper so I can go ahead and journal with it and make use of it. What were your hypotheses when I was first beginning? What were you expecting the papers to look like? I'm kind of curious to know in the comments down below. But if you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell for notifications for more content to come. It really does help me out. So until next time, I will see you in my next video. Bye.